Hello, everybody. Good to be with you again. If you're watching this on March the 15th, it's the Ides of March, the day in the calendar made famous because that was the day when Julius Caesar was destined, he was told, to die, and in Shakespeare's play, and indeed in history, he did. The Ides of March was a Roman celebration. It came at the turn of the year. So it was the date by which debts had to be repaid. If you owed somebody something, you took responsibility for that and paid off your debt by that date. It was also possibly the day on which the Roman festival of Mamuralia was celebrated. And in this festival, an elderly man was dressed in shabby clothes and ritually beaten. It was a way of punishing him symbolically for the mistakes, for the faults, for all that had gone wrong in the previous year. So you have both on the same day a ceremony or obligation which acknowledges your own responsibilities, but also a symbolic ritual by which you deny that it's your fault and blame this poor old man who was the victim of this symbolic action. I think it's important in life to be clear as we can be anyway, as to what is our responsibility and what is not. Some of us are more likely to say, oh, it was my fault, when it actually probably wasn't. Whereas there are others who are very unwilling to accept that anything is their responsibility and always blame other people if anything goes wrong. Clearly, neither of these is appropriate, and what we want to try and do is to find the truth. I think it's particularly important to be truthful about our own responsibility, what we are actually responsible for having done in our lives, because not only does this involve accepting the ways in which we failed or made mistakes, but if we're not honest about that, then we can't also be honest about the ways in which we succeeded and had done well. So let's try and be clear in our thinking today about what we're responsible for and what we're not. It's certainly something that we're enjoined to do by the New Testament, where it says, let each test their own work and then they can take pride in themselves alone. In other words, if you don't look honestly at what you've done, you can't either take pride in it or accept responsibility for its failures. And then it goes on to say, for each must bear their own load. We need, notwithstanding the help we can sometimes call upon from other people, ultimately to be responsible for our own actions. So today, I'm not just going to say sorry without thinking about whether I actually am, which I think is a typically British way of speaking. And on the other hand, I'm not going to pretend that I have not made a mistake when actually I have.